What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into what's happening over in Iraq. As I'm sure you guys are aware of, we want to pay attention to the news over there because it affects our Iraqi dinar as well as for those of us who are invested into the ISX. Okay, so we're going to get onto that because some good stuff is happening. And we want to make sure you are aware of it. If you are interested in buying some precious metals here in the United States or over in Puerto Rico, please give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you are a first time buyer and you spend more than $100 on precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Okay, you guys know I'm still a political prisoner over on Facebook, but I am working on that quickly. We'll see what happens. As soon as it gets resolved, I will let you know. But I do have Twitter account, and I also have Parler. And I also have Mewe, and the links are in there. You guys, I'm trying to get on a lot of these different platforms just to make sure I am protected. I've had Mewe for quite a while now, as a matter of fact, probably over a year. But I do have a group on there. Like, so on Facebook, I had a group called The Hidden Things in Front of Your Eyes. I believe it was removed. I don't know if it's still there. But nonetheless, it was preserved just for this reason on Mewe. Right? The link's in there. So I had a feeling about a year ago this would happen. And so I created this a replica. Now there's two hidden things in front of your eyes. Make sure you look for the one where you can see my mug on there, as well as this picture. All right. Let's get into what is happening. What's happening? Hot stuff. Name that movie. Anyways, disputes dissipate over deficit financing. A consensual formula. Kurdistan hands over oil to SOMO, and the government pays extraction costs. Nice. Okay, so what's going on over the news said close to the meeting held in the headquarters of Al Hakama. Is that right? Yep. Block of Parliament building Wednesday, November 11th, that the meeting ended with an agreement that the Kurdistan region would deliver oil to national SOMO for export, provided that the government pays federal commissioned extraction. The sources said that the parties included Kurds we're keen to end the differences in the draft law in financing the fiscal deficit. So it's not just Baghdad, Iraq over there that's having problems. Kurdistan is having problems too. They had an agreement with Erbil and Baghdad. They had an agreement. 250,000 gallons are supposed to be sent to Iraq, and then Baghdad would send over the cost to pay salaries. As you are well aware, there still is an ongoing issues of them getting the money necessary to just pay their government employees. I don't know how they do it. How they just go to work every day and hoping for a payment. I think the last one they got was September. The Speaker of the Parliament, Halabasi, and the heads of the Shiite blocs held a meeting on Wednesday to resolve the fiscal deficit laws. So it was agreed upon. They made an agreement. Let's see where it leads to. Nonetheless, the payroll has to be met. Iraq's government to borrow $12 billion in external loans to finance its deficits. I'm not a big fan of this. Really, I'm not. We were hoping that all the borrowing will be done internally, but it looks like it's going to have to. Some of it's going to have to be done externally. So what I'm hoping is that Iraq just avoids the IMF and World Bank altogether. They are not your friends. All right. So in the interview with the news, the interview program, Rashid said that Iraq will face economic collapse if external loans exceed more than 31 billion. But not just that, I told you if they don't get their money, they're going to have bankruptcy by 2021. I was showing you guys that there was an article that came out by Bloomberg that said, look, Iraq's going to be bankrupt by 2021 if they can't get it together. They rely too much on oil. Now, the good thing is this. It looks like Trump is actually going to win a second term. That's going to open up around the world. You're going to see this happen. We already got the vaccines coming. We got therapeutics are already coming. I think Fauci said they're actually going to be here by next week. So there's no more excuses for locking down people. This is going to open up economies everywhere. You're going to see a positive spike in oil prices everywhere as people finally get the hell out of their houses, start driving around, doing what they need to do, trying to get back to work, trying to get their life back to a norm. You're going to see that happen. All right. So hang tight, Iraq. It will happen. We'll see once Trump's in there, and it looks like it's going to happen, people. Go watch my videos called Pimpy's News. You can see their mainstream media is not reporting it, but now Arizona's thinking it's looking like it's going to go to Trump. In addition to that, Nevada is on the verge of getting ready to flip to Trump. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, as well as Michigan are going to be doing a recount, and Michigan is already coming out making excuses and going, look, you're going to find some illegal voting and you're going to find some duplicates. Look, they already know this, and they're trying to act like it's nonchalant. So we'll see what happens. So I'm anticipating a Trump second term. What does this mean? Peace in the Middle East. Yeah, Iran was wanting a handout. If Biden got into office, I told you this is not good. He wants us to go back into the Iran nuclear deal, which is not good. That gives them a nuclear bomb. That means they could threaten anybody and everybody in the Middle East, which is exactly what this whole globalist agenda is. They want Iran to be in charge of what's going on in the Middle East. John Kerry was trying to be the big dog in this ongoing agreement and setting this up with the Iran. We'll see what happens. All right, that's for sure. So nonetheless, look, they need to borrow $12 billion just to keep their head above water. I'm saying to myself, come on, Iraq, just hang tight. That's all you got to do. I know it's easier said than done, but if these guys can just hang on for about another 6 months, and the reason why I say 6 months is because, you need to get the election certified that Trump won. He needs to get inaugurated. We need to get it looks like the Democrats might lose control of the House and the Republicans retain control of the Senate. So we have to wait till January the 20th when all those people who would be in the way of Trump making big dog decisions get out of office, and then it's on. And it's going to take a few months for things to get rocking and rolling. So hang tight, Iraq. Help is on the way. If you could just hang on just a little longer. But nonetheless, they have to come up with $12 billion, and it's not saying who they're borrowing it from. It just said external banks. So stay away from the IMF, stay away from the World Bank, Mr. Al-Kademi. Parliament session, the House Representatives set the date for the voting session at 12 p.m. on the borrowing law. It's getting ready to happen here. They're getting ready to vote on it. They've been ready for quite some time. Kurdistan's alliance participates in a meeting of the Finance Committee on the finance of the fiscal deficit law. So, again, over there in Kurdistan, they're having their own deficit meetings, figuring out what they need to do to start making money, to get their salaries paid to their employees, and then finance whatever their government needs to fund and be functionable. So that's what they're talking about in here. Like this Saudi analysis, the next stage will witness the implementation of the large number of projects in Iraq. So here's my thing. Saudi Arabia wants to get over there and help with their neighbor. They want to help them with money financing projects that need to get completed. When they say projects, what they're talking about is restarting starting the infrastructure. In other words, start rebuilding Iraq altogether. Considering that Iraq wants to go ahead and move forward with the Chinese agreement, this might be an issue for Saudi Arabia, who are not exactly the best friends with China. So let's see what happens here. Saudi Arabia needs to take a more aggressive role and not allow China to get in there by financing Iraq as much as possible. Let them be the money bags. Don't let China come in and do that. So the Saudi political analysis said that the Republic of Iraq is very important to the country of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and that they are linked to several joint files, while indicating that the next stage will witness the implementation of large number of joint projects inside Iraq. This is great. This is employment. Once they start financing these projects and the projects start back up, the Iraqi people can start going to work. The young people can start going back to work. They won't be protesting. There won't be no more unemployment. There won't be no more welfare. Less money going out, more money paying for taxes. You hear me talk about that all the time. He said the meeting of the Iraq-Saudi Coordinating Council Committee preceded the expected meeting between the Saudi prince and Al-Kademi, and the next stage will witness the implementation of large number of projects inside Iraq. And the results of the recent meetings will have medical results for the Iraqi people. Yeah, we need to get something going over there. Everybody's dealing with the Rona just like us here. But once if Pfizer comes out or Eli Lilly comes out, whoever comes out first and has it, this is good. We can start sending them around the world, start getting people back to work. No more of these freaking lockdowns, man. I know Boris Johnson he better be all over kissing Trump's ass once Trump wins re-election. Biden is already threatening Boris Johnson. He didn't like the fact that the UK did Brexit. Biden is a globalist. He's already all over Johnson's ass, threatening him, talking about sanctions and the whole 9 yards. So, yeah, Once Trump's in there, Boris Johnson better think twice about the way he talks about Trump. We know him and the Canadian Prime Minister as well as the French President. We're all talking crap behind Trump's back, and they got picked up on a hot mic. So they better be doing a lot of bow down when you come to my town. So, anyways, Saudi prince met with Al Kademi. They agreed things are going to die. So it's no longer any talk. They're going to start implementing these projects. Things are going to start rocking and rolling. All this is in here is all the members who met. Look at their name and everybody. We don't need the names of all the people. They talked about the two things, strengthening each other's countries. We know this. The RR border there is getting ready to be opened up. That's going to be very good for both sides. Again, it's all the same things. Also, Saudi Arabia is a big member on OPEC. This would probably be a good time for Al Kademi to see what he could do about getting an exemption from reducing the amount of production so they can start pushing out more oil and get more revenues in there. Okay. So look, they are going away from just talking about it to now something's getting ready to happen, and even Kuwait has been involved. I told you this was going to happen. I told you the things that people aren't talking about in the media I knew about, which was Saudi Arabia and Kuwait have been talking with Iraq, that they're ready to start doing a lot of business together, which is really good. All right. So good. That's what's going on in here. They're just getting ready to start putting some things together, start rebuilding Iraq. Parliament sessions, Parliamentary Finance ends its discussion on the Financial Deficit Act. So it's getting ready to go on. It just goes on here and talks about all the different things, all the different committees. So here's what it is. Parliament, Media, the Financial Committee ends its discussion on the Fiscal Deficit Financial Law and submits it to vote for the House of Representatives. The Financial Committee holds its meeting. Anyways, it just tells you all the steps. That's all this is. All the different steps that need to be taken. All right. Anyways, it's talking more about the different laws, like the Shiite parliamentary demands the abolishment of the Article 140 of the Iraq Constitution and an outright Kurdish refusal. That's not going to happen. That's the resettlement. The Article 140 is the resettlement agreement. It's part of the constitutional law. That's not going to happen. There's no way in hell. Not only that, the United Nations wouldn't allow it neither. Nonetheless, let's get back to what I was talking about. And look at this. Iran's president calls on Biden to return to nuclear deal. And they want reparations. They want them to send a pile some money. Gee, what do you think they're going to do with that money? They were the largest state to finance terrorism. They'll just go right back to doing it. So Iran's president called on president-elect. He's not president-elect. The media is going to keep trying to force that down your throat. No state has been certified yet. Until it's certified, he's not president-elect. So Iran's president called on Biden to compensate for past mistakes and return the U.S. to Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers. A state-run news media said. I told you they were hoping and praying and salivating at the idea that Biden might get elected. That's not going to happen. But I love the fact that all this voting fraud and all this is coming out so the world can see just how bad it was. The U.S. has been one of these people running around telling everybody should have free and fair elections, but in their own country, they've been rigging elections for decades. So good. That's about to be exposed, and you could bet your bottom dollar that once Trump's in office and he has control of the House and the Senate, a huge sweeping change to the way we do our voting is going to be done. Okay? So anyways, it says, now is an opportunity has come up for the next U.S. administration to compensate for past mistakes and return to the path of complying with international agreement through respect of international norms, the state-run IRNA agency said. I told you guys this is going on. That's what's happening. Look, there's all these people that are all happy. UN's like, good, we don't have to pay our fees anymore. Let the United States pay for it. So there's more money out of our pockets. They're going to go ahead and expand. Biden wants to go ahead and start hiring in all the different agencies that Trump did not. Trump was saving us hundreds of millions of dollars, and he said it was redundant and that there was too much government. Biden's talking about he wants to put them. That's more money coming out of our pockets. Plus, they want to go to the Paris environmental agreement. That's more money out of our pockets. They want to redo the agreement with China. That's more jobs and money out of our pocket. So we'll see what happens, you guys. We're keeping an eye on this, but I can tell you this. You can look forward to Trump being reelected. I'm feeling more than positive now about that. All right, let me know what you guys think. This is good news once Trump's back in office for Iraq as well as the Middle East and other nations around the world. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.